You're tuned in. To Stardom 100 Radio. Stardom 100 Radio.
What time is it?
With your host, Tanisha Davis. We're the show that's keeping it all the way 100 with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the heavily orchestrated, never duplicated lyrical symphony known as the Eternal One Eternity, aka Mr. Everlasting, the Lyrical Assassin, and you are tuned into Stardom 100 Radio. Let's go.
Call security!
Yo, what's poppin'? It's the Young Lion, Sammy, and right now you're tuned in to Stardom 100 Radio. Keep it locked.
What's up, everyone? This is your girl, Tanisha Davis, and you are tuned in to Stardom 100 Radio. And today is December 23rd, which is a couple of days away from Christmas. Okay? And so today on the show, we have a wonderful guest by the name of Dennis Polar, and he is the founder of Los Dos Productions. And so we're going to get to know a little bit about him, his company, and all that good stuff. So we're super excited. So Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for choosing to be on the show today. So I've been doing like a lot of research about you, and I was seeing where you've been in this industry for over 35 years. That's a long time.
Yes, it is. That just also made me sound old, but yes, it is.
Wow. So I wanted to ask you, what has it been like working in this industry? Because I see like you've been behind the development of for placement with movies like American Gangster, which I loved, American Gangster, Ocean's 12. I mean, just a ton of movies. The Endgame, Spider, you name it, you've been in there. So what has that experience been like for you?
It's been very fortunate, to be quite honest. It's something that I've been passionate about since I was 5. I was fortunate enough to be mentored by Mary Hall, who was the owner of the company that I was working for, product placement, and opened the doors a lot for me, actually. Got a chance to understand and experience how this industry works.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So, what are some inside tips that you have learned in this industry that help you to be successful in, especially like in film?
Well, one thing is definitely you have to have. It's not for the weak of hearts, and you have to be persistent on doing things, because there are going to be a lot of no's and unfortunately, a lot of doors being closed on you, but you have to keep persistent on your vision and what you're trying to convey out there.
Okay. So I noticed you mentioned that there are going to be a lot of no's. And so I strongly believe like you really have to, believe in yourself in anything that you are trying to pursue. So especially when you're trying to present a film, like that's big. So what led to you starting your own film production?
Well, oddly enough, working in the industry, I met my producing partner and good friend Jose over 40 years ago on a distribution company we were working for as executive. After that project ended, we went our separate ways. He started his marketing ventures, which did very well, and we ended up circling back around recently on a Australian production, a TV series that we're working on as independent producers. During the time we were working, we were talking a lot, and we full sense that there was a huge lack of Latinx content out there in the film and television sector, and we felt there's definitely a need to fill that because there's stories to be told.
Okay.
So that's what led for us to get together and launch those productions.
Okay, awesome. So I do agree that there needs to be more films that are minority based, especially in the Latin community and just minority period. You don't see a lot of that happening. I remember a time where it used to be that way, but that's been like years ago. It seemed like they were, but now it's kind of just thinned out. Like, do you have any ideas as far as like, why do you think that, they're not focusing as much on minority based films?
Well, it's actually sad because there is one of the biggest audience is most minorities in the United States. The frustrating part is that we feel also that there should be minority-led roles, prominent roles. We feel that it's not abnormal to see a Latino or one of our African American brothers,
right,
a lawyer or a doctor or something prominent in a film role, and that's something that we always had a problem with. In fact, my producing partner back in the 90s, he was a SAG actor, and one of the most frustrating things that he would express to me was the fact that most of the roles he would get would be the gardener, the
wow,
the typical
stereotyping.
Yeah, and to this day, unfortunately, it's still happening. Not as much, but it unfortunately still happening.
Yes, that's something that I have noticed as well. It's always like the little basic roles. We're never getting like the lead roles in a lot of films today. So yeah, I agree with what you shared. So every video production company has like a different style of the type of stories and films that they like to share. So what are some that you are currently working on?
Well, we have all of our projects, and it goes from film to television. We have a couple biopics that we're doing. We have a sci-fi, some reality shows as well, but they're all focused on Latinx minority-led. So we're going to have, we have directors that are Latinos, minorities. We have lead roles that are Latinos, minorities. That's really our focus is on letting those stories be told, because there's definitely, we have stories to be told, and we don't feel that we're being portrayed enough out there, especially in this industry.
Yes, I agree. I really agree with that. Are you all currently accepting submissions from those who are aspiring to work in film?
Well, we will be. Unfortunately, right now we have a slate of projects we're already locked in. So we're focusing on completing that. Once we complete that, we're definitely opening our doors to accept submissions, especially from people in the Latinx and minority community.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So those who are listening in, take notes. Okay. I wanted to ask you, we're seeing a lot of films, especially with during this COVID-19 quarantine and so forth like that are being released on platforms like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Are you all looking to work with some of those companies as well?
Absolutely. In fact, we currently are working with a couple of the major streaming services.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So we'll be able to look forward to some things coming up, hopefully in the new year. So I wanted to ask you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I wanted to ask you, how has this been for you, especially with COVID, everybody's kind of having to be distant. Were you able to still accomplish a lot of things this year?
Fortunately, we did. One of the lucky things and how I got connected back with Jose to start Los Dos is the fact that we're working on a project that's in Australia with a land director, and we came to find out that Australia right now is offering up to 45% of its film incentives to help photography, to help, producers film out there. And also the fact that that certain sections of Australia is cover free. So it makes it easier to film out there.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. So you kind of educated me on some things. Awesome. So, for those who are listening in, like, what advice do you have for anyone that's really trying to get that breakthrough in this industry? Because, you have so many people who are taking advantage of like Instagram and the YouTube to launch their own productions. What advice do you have for them?
My advice would be, honestly, be passionate of what you're doing, but also reach out to people who have done it to help, mentor and guide you. Because, especially in this industry, you're going to need people to help you open the doors, pay it forward.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. You definitely need to connect with somebody in the industry that has been successful in it, and a lot of times our young people, they try to just kind of figure it out on their own, but you need to connect with someone that's, got some seniority in the film business. So, what are some inside secrets to being successful that you think, what are some things you think that it takes to be successful?
Well, that's definitely a good question because we're still in the process of succeeding our company. Mm-hmm. I will go back to what you said initially, which is very true. Believe in what you're doing, be mm-hmm. passionate about what you're doing, and never stop. No mm-hmm. matter, what haters you might have around you, just don't stop and keep looking forward. Focus on your dream, but make sure you're focusing on your dream for the right reasons.
Yes, I agree. You definitely need to be focused, and you can't be worried about your haters. I mean, like, I started calling them fans because, like, you got to be a fan to keep up with everything I'm doing. So, you definitely can't be worried about them. You have to stay focused on the vision and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And from what you shared with me, it sounds like you are really working on a gold mine because we don't have enough of minority-based films. It's like, it's always the same, like you said earlier, stereotypical, typical stories where, even when you think with African American, it's always like drug related or it's crime based. It's like, can we see us in a different light? Even in my Hispanic community, Latin, like, can we see us in a different light? We're not just criminals. That's not the only thing we do. Like, we can do other things, so it's definitely time for that. So I'm glad that your platform is about that. Yeah.
Thank you. Absolutely. I mean, you hit a lot of key points. That's absolutely right. Personally, for myself, I grew up in Long Beach. Mm-hmm. I'm Latino, and I grew up, in a rough neighborhood, but none of my families are gangsters. Mm-hmm. We didn't grow up with cholos in our family.
Yeah.
We grew up as a typical family, struggling and learning things, but it wasn't as, I've never seen that portrayed on a film or television, which always bugged me.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I grew up in a rough neighborhood as well, but like you said, and that's the first thing, especially when you think about California, they're initially assume it is gang. Like, if you're black, if you're Latino, if you're Hispanic, you're in some form of gang, or you come from it, or something like that. Like you just, can't come from success. It's like, so it's really sad that that's how we're portrayed, even with a lot of the stuff that's taking place this year and within the past years with police brutality. It's been really heavy that we're always stereotyped. It's always assumed that we're bad or so forth. And it's time to see something different on TV. And I like what you all are doing, because that's going to let our young kids, you know, like they said, what is it, Generation Z, our kids of tomorrow, get the chance to see themselves in a different light. Like, this is what's possible for you.
Absolutely. That is the goal.
Yes. So, what kind of films are you, like, any films that you want to talk about that you're currently working on releasing?
Well, unfortunately, I would love to, but we're in the early part of a lot of the projects that I cannot divulge, you know, as far
I
as,
understand.
what actors and whatnot. But I can inform you that we are working on a biopic on a band, which was a 90s band. We're also working on a duo comedy bio, which is going to be very well known, and we have a couple of TV series that we're also locking up. So yeah, I'm expecting 2021 to definitely be a good year for us.
Yes, I hope and pray that it is, you know, and I'm going to definitely be keeping up with you all so I can see, you know, I'm big on subscribing. So I definitely want to follow and keep up with what you have going on. So for those who are listening, like, where will they be able to kind of follow your production company and kind of keep up with the latest films as they release?
Well, right now, you can go to our website, which is www.losdos.com, which is LOZDOS.com. We also have our social media links up there as well. We have a newsletter as well that you could request, and you could also follow us with our hashtag, which is Latinx Devising.
Awesome. Okay. And are you all on, like, any of the platforms, like, such as Instagram or Facebook or Twitter?
Absolutely, yes. All of those platforms are on our website. The links to them on our website.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, you've shared like a lot of information about your company and what you all are involved in. Again, I'm excited about the message, you know, just changing the light, you know, on how people look at us. Like, I was reading your mission statement, speaking about bringing energy and authority to the American audience, you know, through the Latin and minority-led TV and film content. Like, I like what you all stand for and what you're trying to do. Like, it takes, you know, you always hear them say like it takes a village, you know, like we need more people doing this. We really do. You know, that's what's going to change what we're seeing on the TV and what's in the theaters and so forth like that.
Absolutely. We got to keep in mind that we have vast stories that need to be told.
Yes.
You know, we really do. We really have enough story. It's nice to see minorities being more recognized in recent years, but let's be real. Hollywood's been around for over 100 years.
Yes.
We're just being a little bit, getting a little shot of light sent to us, just recently, which to me is a joke because, you know, we have contributed more and we have more stories to tell.
Right. Yes, I've noticed that, like, with some of these platforms, like, they're just now throwing out all of these movies, minority-based movies, and I'm like, why did this just release, like, during, you know, quarantine? Like, where have these movies been hiding at? Like, all of a sudden, it's, you know, if you look at a lot of those platforms, all of a sudden, it's like a ton of stories that are minority-based, and I'm like, where did they come from? Like, are y'all just throwing them out because of what's been going on? Like, what's really going on, you know? So, it's pretty interesting.
It's good to know that, it's good to know that Hollywood's finally realizing that, you know, the stage is full of colors and different shades.
Yes.
You have to get a bite of each one. You just can't be greedy.
Right, exactly. Like, come on. And we are some of the biggest supporters when it comes to films. So it's like, come on now.
Absolutely.
Don't look over us. But yes, so again, it's been a pleasure, speaking to you, and just learning what your film company is all about, Lost Dose Productions. And for those who are listening, be sure to visit their website. And, happy holidays to you as well. I'm sure you making plans and preparation. For a lot of us in business, we're still working. So we are taking no breaks. So, again, thank you. It's really been a pleasure talking with you and having you on the show.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and all your listeners.
Thank you so much. And to everyone that's tuned in, be sure to keep up with Lost Dose Productions and follow, visit their website, and be sure to follow Stardom 100 Radio. We're on every digital streaming platform. And from me to you, happy holidays.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid.